G'day traders, happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing well. It's Jimmy Trades here. Welcome back to the channel. Let's dive on in. Let's move over to the calendar first of all. And for the next couple of days, we don't have any high impact news. So we're just taking it easy, making sure that whatever position we take, it's definitely an A+ position. And keeping in mind the 9 and 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time opens for your commodities and indices as our liquidity injection for the session. Let's jump over to the charts. We're going to dive into a NQ trade that I took yesterday morning. We'll have a bit of a trade recap on that. And then we'll obviously go through our daily market reviews. Alrighty, here we go. I just want to say thank you to all you guys that are using my code for your eval purchases. I really do appreciate the support, guys. It means a lot. It also means that we can continue to provide good quality content at no cost. So I thank you very much for all your support. And off of that, a reminder that Apex is 80% off till the end of the month. The 250 and 300K evals, definitely the value for money there. And also Tradeify with 30 to 35% off for the rest of the month as well. Alrighty. So while we're on NQ, we're out here on the daily. We clearly had a nice move yesterday, so we might as well work down to that trade that we took yesterday. But let's have a look here on the daily. So we were looking at this gap that was being the draw we were looking for. Price was in a bullish structure, and this was the logical level that we were looking for price to reach into. That was the draw on liquidity that I was looking for. Looking at today, right now we can see price is respecting the 25% level, or the top quarter of the previous day's range currently. Therefore, I'd anticipate previous day high to be our next draw. Certainly the low-hanging fruit. So that's what I'll be looking for this morning as we head into New York Open. Moving down to the hourly. You can see from this point where we had this change in the state of delivery, prices continue to find that move higher. We've continued to climb. We have a bit of a roll here. Looking for a change in the state of delivery. Bearish one would be through this level here, but we haven't got that displacement or that carry through here. Prices swept out the lows on the hourly, and it started to find some legs. So we moved lower and we've immediately rebalanced that. Previous day high as our draw. Let's move on down to the 5-minute so we can check out this trade from yesterday. It was actually a 1-minute trade, so we will move to that 1-minute chart in a second. But we can see here we have the Asia and London highs open, essentially relative equalized. This will be the draw if this isn't already taken prior to New York Open. Then certainly this is where I'll be looking for price to reach to, and then previous day high beyond that. All right, let's drop to the 1 minute. Right, here we are on the 1 minute micro chart, which is where I actually did execute the trade. And interestingly, if we do jump over to the mini chart, you'll see that it's actually a lot cleaner on the mini chart. You'll notice we don't have this as an aggressive bearish candle. I just want to show you that if I can quickly. Let's find that candle. Where are we? Here we are, down here. So you can see here, it was a lot cleaner on the mini chart. There wasn't as much of that drawdown, and we didn't have that really aggressive bearish candle. So with that in mind, obviously it looks a bit scary on the 1 minute, and this candle did take me a little bit by surprise as the trade was playing out. However, the mini chart showed the true intention. Now, this was just before news, so it was 9:45. I was already in this trade. So, a couple of key things here. We identified the drawn liquidity. So the drawn liquidity was that high time frame point of interest, the daily imbalance or the weekly imbalance, they overlapped. That being our drawn liquidity. Second, high time frame point of interest. Here we were at a 15-minute bearish FEG. So we had our point of interest. Next, we have a breaker with an FEG in the leg that swept liquidity. Okay, there's our sweep into the higher time frame point of interest. And then we had displacement through that. So we've got an inversion here. So this is our Pegasus model. Now, I've had a couple of people ask, why did I not use the wick? Right? Why did I not use this as the entire breaker? The reason for that is purely because of the size of the wick. For me, that is clear manipulation in price, and I'm not interested in using the entire wick. The interest for me was at this change in the state of delivery. That was where my entry was. I'd probably front run it a little bit, which is generally what I do. Looking at how I have the position tool on the chart here, this is left over from yesterday. So I did front run that trade slightly. And we can see that we got into the position. Obviously, this also meant we had a lot less drawdown. Imagine our risk. Okay, our risk would be 45 points if we took the top of that wick. And if we are targeting 2R, we're all the way up here. And yes, of course, we reached 2R, but, that took a long time to get there. We're talking an hour and a half. And I don't really want to be in positions for that long personally. And my risk doesn't allow for that. So we get in here, targeting 2R. We are done in 8 minutes. Trade done. And we had a 60-point trade. All right. So again, we identified drawn liquidity. We had our high time frame point of interest sweep. We had our model. This is our entry model, our Pegasus. We used the change in state of delivery as our entry because of the manipulation in this wick being so large. And we targeted 2R. Overall, for me, this was a great trade. The only thing was it was right before news. Okay. So a little bit higher risk in that it was right before news. We played and the trade was favorable. Alrighty, let's move back out to the daily and let's have a look at ES. Like NQ, respecting the 25% or the top quarter of the previous day's range. Looking for a price to initially take this previous day high. I'll leave the two indicators there as green because I am bullish for both NQ and ES. Moving to the hourly, we're looking at this manipulation which was left over from yesterday. We can see that price has reached up into our point of interest. This is our target area. And if we get a close beyond the 2.5, then we can target the -4. So that's where we can look for price to reach to. Moving over to oil. Looking at the daily, that's looking pretty nice, isn't it? What we drew out yesterday. So a similar story here for oil. Had a nice bullish move yesterday. Again, respecting the top quarter of the previous day. I'll be looking for price to reach for the high just up here. If we move to the hourly, beautiful delivery and price here. We reached up into that target area. We can see how price reacted. We did retrace into a consolidation and then we expanded through. Once we expanded and closed through, we could see how price retested this order block, validated by the fact we did not exceed or close through the 50% level. We had a nice wick off that and continued to move higher. Our target being the -4. And if we're going this high, why not look for that swing high as our draw on liquidity? So that is what I'll be looking for today with oil. Push out to the daily, over to euro. And look at this beautiful reaction off that change in the state of delivery. Looking for price to move lower here. So we've got that change in state of delivery, push off that breaker. We've closed through. This is all on the daily. So now we can look for price to move lower. And we run our standard deviations from the high to the low. And project potentially price going back all the way down to here. But for now, looking for price to reach into or a little bit deeper into this bullish FEG. We've just put in an equal low here. We haven't tapped into the FEG just yet. I'm going to remain bearish, which my bias was from yesterday. We'll see how price also respects the 50% level, which is bounced off right now of the previous day's range. Now, looking at the correlation or the inverse correlation, we want to see Dixie do the exact opposite to euro, and we have exactly that. And now we're getting a nice retest of this breaker. So we have a bullish breaker, and like euro, run the high to the low. This would be our target region. What I like about that is that target region is in a premium, so above the 50% level of this dealing range. So I do like that as a region for price to draw up into. Having a look at gold. Price holding up in this bullish FEG. So it's good to see that price is respecting that bullish FEG at this stage. Still within the previous day's range. Looking for previous day high here as the low hanging fruit as we push higher. Let's check out the hourly. I'm going to clear that up a little bit. So we did have a change in state of delivery here. Price respecting that. Moving lower, respecting the bearish PD arrays. Again, right through here. Unable to close back through. Here we are starting to see potential change in structure. We've managed to close through this bearish FEG here. And we're starting to get a move higher here. Change in state of delivery here with displacement. Price did close through, but immediately rebalanced and had a strong closure above these opposing candles. We then retest that level and start to push higher. Low resistance liquidity. We're looking for this high being the Monday high as our draw liquidity for today. Bullish for gold. What I would say is we do have, and you can see this trend moving down here and price rejecting off of that. I'd like to see price close through that to validate this idea. If price falls lower and then closes below this level here, which is also below the 50% level of these opposing candles, then yes, we are looking for price to go lower. So we're at a critical point here right now to see how price can react and if we can get a close above this line. We had a neutral bias yesterday. You can see that price swept up, took the previous day high, and then we had a strong sellers wick come in. We're still working off this low on the daily and respecting that level. Let's see how price reacts. Clear this up a little bit. At the 50% level of the previous day wick. I am going to remain neutral for now, because we could very well just react off this level and see price push lower. Therefore, we would switch to taking this low. Jumping over to crypto now. Bitcoin, what have you been up to? Sadly, we weren't able to close through this bearish FEG on the daily. We had a strong push through and we've unfortunately closed back inside that. We want to see closure beyond this level. Let's have a look at the hourly. Looking for this level here as a change in state of delivery. We're retesting that level right now. We need to see price close back through this level for us to be able to get that push higher. If not, we're retesting. We're doing right now, potentially going to run lower. So with Bitcoin at a critical point, wanting to see if we can get some bullish price action with a close through this change in state and delivery, or we respect that and continue to push lower today. Neutral bias right now. Let's revisit this tomorrow and see how it played out. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Again, I just want to say thank you for all your continued support. Grab those Apex evals for 80% off, the Tradeify for 30 to 35% off. Happy trading. Be sure to jump over to Trade Foundry. Link is in the description. And we will see you in Trade Foundry for our regular daily stream. Bye for now.